Hello and welcome back to Mr. Edelman's fantastic math class. Today we're going to continue talking about conditional statements, and today we're going to talk about what is referred to as related conditionals. There are three related conditionals that we're going to discuss. The first one is the converse, the second is the inverse, and the third is what's referred to as the contrapositive. And so let's take a look at what you would be asked to do. So it says write the converse, inverse, and contrapositive of the statement. So let's take a look at what all of those mean. First one we're going to talk about is the converse. What you're going to do for the converse is you are going to switch the hypothesis of the statement and the conclusion of the statement. So in order to do that, we need to take a look at the statement and find out what the hypothesis and the conclusion are. So let's take a look at the statement. If the team won at least half their games, then they made the playoffs. So we first have to identify the hypothesis, which is going to be the part of the statement that starts after the if statement. So there we have the hypothesis. And then we need to identify the conclusion. And that starts after the then statement. It's they made the playoffs. That is going to be our conclusion. So to write our converse, we have to switch those with each other. So you're going to start off with the if, and then instead of writing the hypothesis, you're now going to write the conclusion. If they made the playoffs. Comma. Then you're going to write the then. And following the then is going to be what the hypothesis was. The team won at least half their games. So the converse, to find the converse, all you're going to do is take that hypothesis and switch it with the conclusion. Now let's take a look at what is known as the inverse. And for the inverse, you're going to go back to the original conditional statement, and what you have to do is what they refer to as negate the hypothesis and the conclusion. So again, we start with the if, and we take a look at the hypothesis, and the hypothesis this time is going to stay in the same place, but instead of making this, in this case it's a positive statement, we're going to negate it by making it a negative statement. So the statement said the team won at least half their games. So to negate that, all we have to write is the team did not win half their games. I took the liberty of taking out at least out of the sentence. Okay, and then we're going to start with the conclusion. So it's going to say, then you're going to negate the conclusion. So if the team did not win half their games, then what happened? Well, then they did not make the playoffs. They not make the playoffs. So all you have to do for the inverse is put this did not or negate the original statement. Okay, next related conditional, third and final related conditional that we're going to discuss is what is known as the contrapositive. So for the contrapositive, we're going to sort of combine the converse and the inverse. We're going to switch and negate the hypothesis and the conclusion. Okay, so to take a look at our original statement, it says if the team won at least half their games, then they will not make the playoffs. So the contrapositive is going to switch the hypothesis and the conclusion. So I'm going to start off with the if, and I'm going to then go to our conclusion, but I'm going to negate it. It's going to say if they did not make the playoffs, then the team did not win at least half their games. So you can see what I've done here. I've switched the this was our original hypothesis, this was our original conclusion. I switched them and then I negated them. I put this did not statement in there to negate them. So those are the three related conditionals: the converse, inverse, and contrapositive. And so that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me either in class or on my blog. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Talk to you real soon.